Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're having a good one. So there's a new Fallout 4 update rolling out that brings in the Varmint Rifle as part of Bethesda's free creations drops and a stack of stability and crash fixes. And I wanted to walk you through what's in the build and what it actually means for players in plain terms. The patch 1.41 is small in download size, but feels important because it's focused on smoothing the rough edges that have been annoying for some folks, especially those using creations or running mods on consoles. On top of that, the Varmint Rifle arrives as the first free creations item, and it's delivered with a bit of lore-friendly presentation, a mini drop that nudges you to explore and find the rifle rather than just handing it to you via menu. That's a neat move from a design perspective because it makes the drop feel like part of the world rather than an inventory add-on, and it gives modders and players who like scavenger hunt style content something to talk about. Let's talk specifics so you can mention them in your video without fluff. The patch cleans up a number of crash scenarios that have shown up in edge cases. Console players had a few nasty issues. Starting a new game while creations were enabled could lead to crashes on PS4, and players were experiencing quits after exiting years when the Pip-Boy was open on both PS4 and PS5. Those sound like small, quirky triggers, but the result is a corrupted flow for a playthrough and frustration when you lose progress or have to reload repeatedly. On PC, there was a crash tied to selecting purchase credits in the creations or marketplace flow. That one was particularly galling because it stopped transactions from going through cleanly and risked interrupting players who were just trying to grab a free or paid item. The update addresses these cases and a handful of saved ordering problems that appeared when creations content was missing from a load order. Essentially, the game is now more robust in how it handles absent creations or mismatched load sequences, so you won't be greeted by immediate instability if your collection of creations changes between sessions. Beyond those headline fixes, the patch includes a collection of quality-of-life stability items that tend to only be noticed when they go wrong. Fixes for odd crash conditions on certain UI actions, better handling of mod-created content on consoles, and safeguards for load order integrity. If you run mods on consoles, the studio has been pretty clear that more comprehensive console mod storage updates are planned for a later update, likely slated for December. For now, the advice embedded in the patch notes is to protect your mod load orders, not because the patch will break everything, but because transitions during these incremental updates have historically been the moments where missing or mismatched assets cause a headache. This patch reduces those headaches, but it doesn't completely rework console mod storage yet. That larger storage expansion is still on the roadmap and will be the bigger update when it arrives. Now, about the Varmint Rifle itself. The creations drop isn't just an item spawn. Bethesda's approach is to weave the rifle into the environment in a way that feels like a find, a piece of content that rewards exploration. The community already has several Varmint Rifle mods floating around on mod hubs, but the official creations version will be interesting to compare because it's the canonical free drop, and it sets a baseline for how Bethesda intends to deliver small, themed content going forward. Cosmetically and mechanically, it's familiar to players who've used similar weapons in earlier content, but the presentation and the fact that it's an officially delivered creation makes it noteworthy, makes everybody. Players who love collecting or who enjoy equipping themed weapon sets will probably jump on it instantly. And it's the first of what's described as multiple free creations drops. So it's a taste of how the studio plans to release smaller, recurring content without traditional paid DLC. For stream or video commentary, it's worth mentioning how the patch balances between being a fix-focused build and a content setup. It doesn't add new systems or rework the way mods function on consoles. That's reserved for the larger storage update. But by ironing out crashes and improving load resilience, it clears the runway for creations to be a smooth experience. And for PC players who hit the purchase credits crash, this patch is a genuine relief. It removes one more friction point in the credit acquisition flow and reduces the risk of transaction interruptions. There are a couple of practical things to call out without sounding like a lecture. Back up your saves before applying the patch if you're in the middle of an important playthrough. That's standard. But it matters more when load orders or creations are involved. Console players who use mods should keep an eye on their mod manager and note any mismatches between last session and this session. This patch improves the situation, but doesn't replace the storage expansion that's promised soon. And if you're the sort who loves comparing community versions of a weapon to an official drop, expect a flurry of compatibility patches and comparisons to pop up on mod hubs as creators reconcile their versions with Bethesda's creations entry. As for tone and community reaction, this kind of update usually lands with a sense of cautious approval. Players want stability and clear delivery methods for free content, and Bethesda gave both in one small package. It's not a sweeping quality of life overhaul, but it's a tidy, focused move in the right direction. The Varmint Rifle drop is a friendly olive branch to collectors and creators alike. It signals that creations will be populated with items that matter and that the team is willing to iterate on the system's stability, so those items can be enjoyed without constant interruptions. If you're making a video, emphasize that balance. The patch's focus is reliability plus a tasteful bit of free content, and those two things together make the update feel useful even if it's not headline grabbing. Overall, this update reads like a practical maintenance pass that also brings a bit of fresh content to the game world in a way that respects exploration and the existing mod ecosystem, while nudging console mod management toward a larger improvement coming shortly.